Hello, everyone. Happy International Women's Day.
Thank you. Happy day to you too.
It's great to see all of you.
Thank you.
So we're here together to have a brief informal discussion about things that have meaning to us in our lives that relate to International Women's Day. Thanks so much for being here. My name is Paulie Dolan. I'm a board member and a co-founder of Sega and Nurturing Minds. And I'm sitting here in Philadelphia. All of you are over there in Morogoro, Tanzania.
Yes,
and I think we could just start first by briefly introducing ourselves. So could we start with our student representatives?
Yes.
Just say hello and your name and who you are.
Hello. My name is Leila, so for me as a head girl.
Head girl. Thank you, Leila.
Thank you. Hello. My name is Christina Charles. I'm a Form 2 student.
Thanks, Christina. Great to see you.
Hello, my name is Rhona Mtega and I'm Sega's communication coordinator.
Thanks, Rhona.
And hello, I am Laina. I am the director.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Tereza Tito. I'm Sega's academic mistress.
Thanks,
Thank
Tereza.
Hello, my name is Pauline Rusisye, Education for Life coordinator at Sega Secondary School.
Thanks, Pauline.
Hello, my name is Clementina Mwambene, and I'm the MK program coordinator.
Okay, can you tell us what MK is?
Okay, MK is a community outreach program for the girls that works in the community, but we also work with the Sega graduates to mentor underage and underprivileged girls in the community from age 10 to 18.
Okay, great. Thanks. So MK is a Kiswahili acronym for modern girl. So when you hear MK, it means modern girl. Okay, great. We can start with our conversation, and I've prepared some questions to help move things along. And I think we can start with our students. So Christina, maybe this question is for you. Can you tell us what International Women's Day means to you personally?
Thank you for your question. To me, International Women's Day means that it's the day of celebrating women because they need equal rights and to be protected as men in the community.
That's excellent. To protect them for having equal rights, the same as men.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Are there any things that you've learned at Sega that are related to International Women's Day? And especially this year's theme is overcoming bias. Is there anything that relates to this day?
Yeah, thank you for your question. A good example here, I learned at Sega, we have a first female to be as a school director. That this shows that women can break the biases by being a leader. Also, in our society, people think women are weak. They can't do some of the activities. They are breaking the bias. Here in Tanzania, we have a good example of a Makonde tribe. Those Makonde tribe, women are usually building their own houses. This means that women are strong enough to do even tough jobs.
That's excellent. Is that your group, Makonde? Are you from that ethnic group?
No.
Okay. Can I see, can somebody adjust the camera slightly so we can see Christina's whole face? I'm getting chopped off from the nose down. If you can just adjust. Thanks, that's excellent. And do you have any ideas for how maybe we could involve boys and men in this fight against bias, for bias, gender inequality, violence against women? Sorry, did Christina hear my last question? Can you guys still hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. So one last question for Christina. Just if she thinks that we could involve boys and men in this effort to overcome bias and violence against women, what can we do to involve them?
Thank you for your question.
That's perfect. Thank you. Now I can see you.
The society should educate the boys when they are still young, because when they are growing up, they become men. They shouldn't do such violence against women. Example, raping girls, or men can beat their wives after marriage by thinking that their wives, they are like servants to them.
Wow, thank you. That's really good. And your English is beautiful, by the way. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Okay, Leila, can we ask you a couple of questions? If anyone has anything to contribute at any time, please jump in. But Leila, as the head girl of Sega Secondary School,
Yes, ma'am.
we're very happy to hear from you. What do you think is special or different for you as a girl growing up now in this time period of 2022?
Okay, thank you for the questions. The thing which I think is special for me in this time period of 2022 is that I'm blessed in different ways, such as I'm intelligent, I'm beautiful, I'm charming, I'm confident. Not only that, but also, when I was young, I was not considering myself having bigger dreams, but now I'm thinking of being famous and known all over the world.
Whoa.
I can see you do not lack confidence. That's a really good thing. Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. And what is special or of importance to you about International Women's Day? Think specifically about your country, Tanzania. Is there anything special about this day as it relates to your country?
Okay, thank you for the question. This International Women's Day in Tanzania, it helps to empower the women, to give them hope, and to make them know that they are loved and valued in the society. But also, it makes them aware of their rights, such as right of education to girls, freedom of expression, and right to ownership for women.
Mhm. Okay, that's excellent. And you know, Tanzania is a bit special because it's one of only a very few countries in the world led by a woman, especially in Africa. And so what can Tanzania teach Africa and the world, do you think? What can they have to teach?
Okay, thank you for the question. As Tanzania having the first women president, generally in Tanzania and Africa, it teaches the Africa that women can lead. They have no limits in what they can achieve. Thank
That's amazing. That's a great message.
you.
Okay, thanks so much. So now let's move to the Sega board chair. Helen is with us from her own camera, I think. Hi, Helen.
Hi, how are you?
Fine, thanks. Nice to see
My
you.
name is Hake, thank you. My name is Helen Kalangango, the chair board of Sega.
Great. So Helen, your question, can you describe briefly how you see the status of women in Tanzania now compared to when you were growing up?
Yes, it is great. And you can see in our country now, women are at least, there are so many who are leaders. Like the Speaker of the Parliament is a woman, and also our president, and also the other last body, the other last Speaker of the Parliament, Mama Anna Makinda. We have so many women who are the leaders. We can talk about Gertrude Mongela, and also there are so many women leading now.
Was
But
that
when
different?
we compare when we compare to our last days when I was growing up, I didn't see even the head teacher was a male, no female. You know why? They
Wow.
thought that women cannot lead. They are weak. They cannot lead other people.
Mm-hmm.
So at least women were at least graded as housekeepers, taking care of the children, and even the schools were limited for girls. I remember we had only one secondary school in 1950s. It was only Tabora Girls Secondary School. It was the only one in the whole country. But nowadays, there are so many secondary schools, so many high schools, and also even universities. And female and women are joining these studies. And also, even the community, you can see now there are some chairpersons who are women, and community leaders, mostly community leaders, you find a woman. At those days when we were growing, no woman could lead anything. Even in the house itself, in the family, it was only the father who was the last say.
That's amazing. I'm so happy that there's been all those changes. We've also had a lot of changes in our society over the last 75 years. So it's good to see it happening, and thanks to leadership of people like you, Helen.
Thank you.
Can we move back to the other room and speak a little bit with Laina, the Sega director? So Laina, Sega currently has 65 staff and reaches more than 1,200 girls every year in different regions of Tanzania. So being in your role as director, you have influence on many, many people. I'd like to hear from you if there's any advice or message that you'd like to share with girls or women who would someday love to be a person like you in a leadership position. I can't hear you. You're on mute, I think.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
I was saying, first of all, I strongly concur with a famous feminist and author, a Nigerian lady, Chimamanda Adichie. She's an author and she has this book, which is titled, We Should All Be Feminist. And in her book, he talks about a lot of things about the men and women thing, but the one thing she was talking about was in the past when people were living in the world where physical strength was one of the most important attributes for survival and of course for leadership. And generally we see that men are physically stronger and they are more blessed to be in leadership if strength is the only attribute. But currently we live in a world where it's a completely different world, where the person who is more likely to be a leader is the one who is more innovative, more creative, has more knowledge, has more experience. It's not about physical strength. And these are attributes which a man can have, a woman can have. There are no gender hormones for those attributes. So as equally as a man can have the attributes, a woman can be. So my advice to the girls and women who aspire to be in a position like me or even higher, or to the president or whatever, it is possible for men and for women. We are all equal in terms of aspects for leadership. Anybody can be a good leader, and sometimes you find female leaders who are even better than men. And we have witnessed, even in the member of the parliaments in Tanzania, we have different ministers. We find several times that the male ministers are changed, but we have female ministers who have been in position for so long because of their trustworthiness, their transparency, and other attributes. So for me,
yeah.
a woman can be anything she wants to be.
Right, and they sometimes bring a different style of leadership, breaking those old paradigms of what is a good leader. I love that message.
Exactly. Thank
you. And also, though, I'm sure there must be some challenges or even opportunities specifically about being a woman in a leadership position. Could you share any challenges, or on the flip side of the coin, opportunities that you think being a female leader brings to your position?
Oh, all right. Thank you. I believe there are opportunities, but I would love to talk about challenges. I think in every position there are challenges, but for my role specifically, there are challenges which are manageable. There are challenges which are manageable, but to be specific, sometimes because we live in the world in a community where people believe men are more able than women, and it's more challenging if you are a young woman, not an older person, let's say 55 and above. Maybe they can learn to trust you, but when you are younger, it's even more challenging because even the women sometimes feel that the women are not able. Not just the men, it's a society where even women themselves don't believe that a woman can lead. So there are challenges that are in the society. You don't know what people think, but for sure I know that it's not easy in the community where I live for people to accept young women or women in general to be in leadership. And the most important for me is to continue being strong, to believe in my abilities, to do what is right, to communicate effectively, to follow the policies and rules with common sense, of course. Yeah.
That is such a good point. I mean, we're talking about gender all the time, but age is also something that is discriminated against, and whether it's ageism in our country against older people or not believing in the young people. So it's another thing that we always have to be thinking about. And young people have a lot of vigor and energy that you bring to your job. Thank you, Laina.
Right, thank you, Paulie.
Can we go to Tereza? Hi, Tereza.
Hi,
Our
Pauline.
academic mistress.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so you, in your role, you're in charge of making sure the girls are getting a quality education at Sega. So what exactly does that mean for you? What does quality mean in the context of what you're doing? And if you can relate it out at all to International Women's Day, that would be great.
Thank you, Paulie. To me, the term quality means excellence. Excellence in everything, and most especially for what a woman does, for what a girl does. So speaking of Women's Day, speaking in education, the term quality means a lot. It means a lot, and it does not only entail a person to graduate and have a certificate. It does not only entail for a person to go to a college to me, the term quality means our attitude, our positive actions, the language we speak to ourselves and to others, our respect to self and others, and everything in general regarding to life. So to me, that is quality. So basically, to the students, speaking of the students here at Sega and women at large, the girls we are having here, the term quality is something that I'm loving it and I'm enjoying it. Because at Sega, quality education is being provided, just referring to the school motto, quality education for leadership. And I thank the people who founded this motto, because Sega is living the motto in real. We have girls who are learning the leadership skills, the entrepreneurial skills offered here at Sega, the English fluency, the confidence that is being put into girls is of another level. Just like how we have seen a Form 2 student and the head girl, how they were expressing themselves. They can speak for one person and say, this is no, this is a yes. This, we should stand for ourselves. And they work as one. They work in unity to make sure that their rights are being protected. So teachers are working very hard to make sure these girls prosper academically, but at the same time, they don't only prosper academically, but they prosper in almost all arenas in life. They graduate with the leadership skills, thinking skills, with the confidence and excellent English speaking. And for the girls, they are raising a voice for themselves and for the people in their societies, not only here at Sega. And they are being taught. That is quality to me, because what is given to them is quality, what they are receiving is quality, and they are ready to receive it. They stand for themselves and they think, not only thinking, they live the idea that they can do anything just like how men can do it. If men can be taught and be engineers, women can also be engineers. If men can rule the world, women can also rule the world. So quality brings equality to all. Thank you.
That's amazing. Thank you, Tereza. Thanks so much. Thanks for those really specific examples too.
Thank you for
You're a great role model.
Thank you.
Okay, Pauline. Pauline, I think that your program has a lot of impact at the school into some of the things that Tereza's just mentioned, that the girls are confident and they're learning leadership and they're able to articulate and speak to everybody. So can you share some of the leadership program taught through the Education for Life program, which you started at Sega many years ago?
Thank you, Paulie. I was just listening that she was taking all of my points. But just to go back to my program, Education for Life is meant to be education for life. To prepare the girl to be ready to face the reality of the life outside the school. And that is exactly where everything begins. So everything they learn at school, the practical comes after school, where they go to learn about life and what is happening in there. So in my program, we have basically been dealing a big part in girls' leadership that is creating and making the girls understand who they are, accepting who they are, their strength, believing in themselves, having a voice to just stand up for themselves, and believing that they are the best leaders ever. And as we teach them in different trainings, we have been reminding the girls to understand that they are natural born leaders. And giving us an example, you will never compare a boy and a girl when it comes to leadership. Even when you come at the house, in Tanzania or many African countries, we have been having this law of marriage whereby the girls have been married at the very youngest age, like maybe 14, maybe 12. But imagine this 12, 14 girl has been able to manage the house. But if you go to a boy of the same age to become a husband, nothing can happen. So you can see that the women are born leaders, even when they have not even been educated. There's something in them that they are just given to be leaders. So through Education for Life, we have been holding a lot of trainings under the curriculum of Creative Action Institute. We have helped the girls to understand themselves, to understand their background, and to understand that their backgrounds can never stop them from reaching where they are. But their backgrounds will have to keep them strong to reach where they want to reach. And we have helped them to have their voice, to speak up whenever something is wrong done to them or to the community, because we believe it is only you who can make the changes. The people who are around you don't understand how to make that change until you show them how important that change is. So with empowering them to have their own voice, to speak up, to say this is wrong, this is not wrong, it will help to change something in their community. But through life skills, we have shown them what life is, to have confidence, to understand their self-esteem, to see what are the causes that made them to be so low, how they can get out from there and be potential. We have really made a lot of progress on having confidence in them. Through inspirational speakers who are also coming to school to inspire the girls, they have seen how women can be leaders, how they can be successful, and it has been a great part for the student to grow as leaders. So as our school motto at Sega Secondary School, that is quite education for leadership, we believe after Sega, our girls could be the best leaders out in the community.
Thanks a lot. And that's a great message that you're imparting to them, that it's something natural within them. You're just helping them to build on it and to fine tune and learn some of these skills. That's really great. If you had one message that you could deliver to or share with girls everywhere, what would it be, Pauline?
Well, I would have millions of messages, but I would just have one way that my message could give girls or women should accept who they are. They don't have to be men to prove that they can be leaders. They should believe in what they can, and nothing can stop them from reaching what they want to get.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Shall we go to Tina, our Modern Girl coordinator? Hi, Tina.
Hi.
Can you tell us a bit about what is taught or demonstrated through your program, MK, or Modern Girl, that's relevant to this day, International Women's Day?
Okay. As MK, we do see, we relate to the International Women's Day because we see our program as a part of celebrating the essence of womanhood and the essence of girlhood for the girls who are adopting into becoming young women. And through our program, we strive to create foundational knowledge that we offer the girls that can help them into different aspects of their life, such as for them understanding their health better through our health and sensitization education that we offer them, and for them to understand different diseases and how they can better care for themselves and prevent themselves for that, but also for them in understanding different options that they have for financial literacy and entrepreneurship opportunities that can also help them, especially for these girls who are not in schools or are out of schools and cannot go back anymore. So this entrepreneurship helps them to know that there's something else that they can do, that they can earn themselves and become financially independent from men. And also for them also understanding that they have rights, all their basic rights, but also for them to understand that to build their self-awareness, to be more confident in who they are. And all this, we see that it relates into the International Women's Day in the essence that we create a safe space for the girls to come and celebrate womanhood, but also for them to share their experience, especially for any of the girls who have been involved in gender-based violence, to share and know that they are not alone and they can come together to fight that. And carry out the womenhood message. And that is what we see as the essence of International Women's Day.
Thanks a lot, Tina. That must be having a positive impact on the girls. What do you think are the changes that you see or the influences on the girls or even the mentors? This program is led by Sega graduates, whereby 2 graduates in pairs, 2 at a time, will be mentors to clubs of girls. I'm just sharing with the other people on the Zoom. And so if you could comment on how you see the program helping the girls in the community or the graduates, it would be great.
Okay, so maybe starting with the graduates or the mentors of the program, we see the program influence them in leadership skills, further building leadership skills. As for the Sega graduates, as my other fellows have said, while they are at Sega, they learn a lot about leadership and all of that. But when they are in the program, when they have an opportunity to mentor in the program, they actually get an opportunity to put into practice what they have learned at Sega and actually work with the community. So it continues building on their leadership skills, and also continue building on the fact that they have to meet the parents and work with the girls day to day for a whole year. So it builds the aspect of leadership on the mentor, but also it builds the fact that they know there is a class that they are responsible for, but also they have to meet the parents and they have to channel this leadership and also these meetings with the community leaders, for example. And also it builds them as leaders, but also while they're working there as mentors, they teach a lot of entrepreneurship classes, but also added them the knowledge of administration and financial management that they can also apply into their livelihood beside the MK program. And when it comes to the girls specifically that we work with in the community, the program has been able to help them adapt and change their outlook in life, especially when we work with the really marginalized girls in the villages who have seen a lot of undermining going on in their villages, and some even in their families, and they've been thinking that that is the normal way. So when you teach them about their basic rights or their health education and things like that, and knowing that they can be financially independent, it opens their mind and gives them a different outlook on life. And also for them to be able to know that I have opportunity and I have decisions that I can make regarding my life or regarding my health. It also gives them and prepares them to become better mothers in the future. I think it's all in comparison. I think it encompasses in what are some of the key influences that we have been able to see in the program.
That's fantastic. Thanks a lot for opening their minds and helping them to see.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Hello, Rhona.
Hello, Pauline.
Last but not least, our communication coordinator, who's a vital link between all that happens at Sega and here in the US. So could you tell us, when I'm thinking of the cross-cultural exchange opportunities, whereby we get a lot of volunteers and visitors coming from the US and other countries even to Sega, and they have a lot of interactions with the students. Can you talk about that at all and any benefits that you see in regard to that?
Great. Thank you so much for the question. As you know, we have a bigger number of groups of girls here at Sega, and they are coming from different places. So when they come at Sega, it becomes as a big family. So now when we have visitors outside the country, they come as an expansion to our big family. So especially when we have school groups from America, I normally prepare the hosting students. So the hosting students normally do different activities with the visitors. So they do hiking together, they eat together. So the students learn a lot from the visitors, as well as the visitors learn a lot from the students. So especially when they are here, I normally hold the cultural exchange session where the visitors share their life from how they live at home, as well as the students. So you can see that at the end, both of them benefit from the program. for example, they can end up being pen pals, they write letters to each other, and yeah, finally they become global citizens.
Uh-huh. Okay, great.
Yeah.
And is there anything, can you think of anything and how it relates to our theme of International Women's Day? Anything at all that either one of those groups are getting, or just brainstorming? Or
Yeah, so
what you see?
yeah, sometimes they discuss about gender equality
Uh-huh.
on the cross-cultural exchange session. So they discuss about how men are treated in the US. And the Sega student would give examples of how women and boys are treated in the community. So they see how much of a difference it is. Sometimes there's similarities and sometimes, yeah, it can be different somehow. So they learn a lot. Yeah,
Sorry.
so they learn that you can be a woman and you can be able to do anything. And maybe the US visitors would give examples like you can hold the same position as a man at work, but still a man will be able to be paid more. Yeah.
Yeah, that must be powerful for the girls to know they have things in common. Doesn't matter what part of the world you're in.
Yes.
Okay, this has been really wonderful. Do people have anything they'd like to chip in? There could be a couple of other questions. I'd be very interested to hear from any of you who your role models were, but equally, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask each other.
Thank you.
Does anyone want to share who their role model was?
Yeah, maybe I will share who my role model was. So growing up, really my role model was my dad. It was
Great.
my dad. Yeah, because I was most raised by my dad, not my mom. So I learned a lot of things from my dad. I used to live with my stepmom. She wasn't the best I could learn from because she did not treat me well. So I learned most of those things from my dad. And I had many brothers than my sisters. All of my brothers, I come from a very large family, very large one. So I had like 11 brothers older than me. And all of my brothers went to the University of Dar es Salaam, most of the brothers. But my sisters, not a sister went directly to the university. Most of them would reach to diploma. And so I was wondering, why are the boys only going to university? Then I said, I must go to university. So my first battle was to choose a university. And my brothers were like, no, you must go to the University of Dar es Salaam because this is the only recognized university in Tanzania. There is no university other than this. And you must study law. But at first I thought I should study law. But later when they insisted, I said, no, then I'm not going to study law because all of them want me to study law. They are forcing me to do it. Then I decided I'm not going to the same university, not studying law. I chose something different. I didn't have anybody at home to ask of what I should study because all of them had the same idea of what I should study and I don't want it. Then in the community, there was, you see, in the villages, most people who have gone to higher learning are men, not females. So I went to this head teacher of the primary school, was a man, and I asked a course. I saw the list of the courses in the University of Dar es Salaam and another university in Dodoma, and I was trying to ask him every course what it meant and what I should study. And at the end, I chose what to study based on his advice, because he said, oh, what you have chosen is good. Then I chose to study project management and community development, but I wasn't sure really what it was. Then the man said, no, this is the best, one of the best you have chosen. So I chose it and went on to university. And again,
That's an amazing story.
Yeah.
Because all of that, it sings out loud and clear that you were following something that was from within yourself you weren't just listening to everyone else around you.
Yeah.
And you had some pretty serious challenges to overcome, but there was something inside you that kept you going.
Yeah, sure.
Great.
I don't know if somebody else wants to share there.
I can share.
Here is Rhona.
So, regarding the role model, I would say my mother is my role model, kindly because in our family, we are all girls. There are 4 of us. So she was telling me a story that when she had my sister, her brother had all boys. So when she had the second born, and then my uncle would always tell her that, why are you giving birth to all girls? How are they going to be raised up? Or maybe they're going to get pregnant in the middle when they're still studying and something like that. So looking at her now, she's always proud of us because all 4 of us finished the school and everyone has got her own life. So
Wow,
yeah.
that's great.
Yeah. Great.
Thank you for sharing that.
Tina would like to share.
Another question?
Okay, is there anything else? If not, that's okay.
Yeah, I think we don't have a question here.
Okay, well, this has been really wonderful. I feel like we've done honor to this very special day, and I appreciate all of your time being here with us. And maybe we can just quickly go around, see everybody's face again, say goodbye, and many, many thanks.
Yeah, that's you.
Okay. So thank you so much for having us. We are finishing by saying the theme of this year's International Women's Day, which is breaking the bias.
Right.
So
Break the bias.
break the bias.
Thank you.